We are at Olaro the Smith.
In Ongatarungai.
In Ongatarungai. That's in Olekasasi, Ongatarungai.
This specific place is called Olekasasi.
Yep, this area is Olekasasi, and the facility that we are in is called Olaro.
Gorgeous space.
Very nice.
The children are swimming over there.
Yep.
So if there is background noise, please excuse that. We are outside.
Yep.
Hi everybody, I'm Kitt Nyang'aya. Welcome back to another video. I am joined again by my mom, Kendi Nyang'aya.
Hello.
We are going to shoot a Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram to send out your questions for us. People love my mom.
Oh, thank you. I love people.
Correct. And you guys sent out your questions and we're here to answer them. Don't forget to smash a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, comment, share, interact with us. Ready?
Ready.
Let's get into the video.
Let's do it. Is that my dress? My dress just went up to the camera, Kit. Honestly. I mean, really?
First question. I have money, he doesn't. Can this work in a relationship?
Absolutely. If both of you are intact and dignified and dignifying. Shall I break it down?
Yeah.
Intact is the place in which you are at, where you have built up your personal skills to be able not to be intimidated by the success of your significant other. So you're celebrating it, you're lifting it up, and you're praising God for it. But I'm talking also about self-dignity. If you are dignified, you're not pulling anybody down.
Yeah.
Yes. And you are not thinking that you're better than them
because of money.
Because of money, or because your nest is bigger than theirs. I've got a bigger nest than, or I laid a bigger egg than you laid. No. And dignity is about being supportive to the other person and providing them the capacity to feel full and complete with where they're at financially.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you wish you knew earlier?
In relation to?
Anything.
I wish I knew earlier that I did not have to carry a white man's name, and that I could have a name that is in my birth certificate that is not defined as not Christian just because it's African.
Oh my goodness.
I would have been going by the name Apondi
from the get.
From primary school, but maybe my parents wouldn't have had any of that because people are only just as colonized as they are. And so I decolonized myself in my 30s.
Wow.
Yes. And now I'm going 60. So if I knew now what if I knew then what I know now, I would have gotten rid of the slave name that had the mentality that it's a Christian name and it's just a flower. And what flower is Christian?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Tips to look this fab and glowing at 60.
Okay. That's me being vain.
And so what?
If you say I'm fabulous, I am.
Amen.
I go by gorgeous also. But really, a lot of it is genetic. And a lot of it has to do with how my DNA was created and passed down to me. And so the thanks really is to Yahweh. But the glowing has to do with my loving Yahweh and totally loving myself. I wake up in the morning and I love me. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
What does it mean to be submissive to a husband?
That submissive question comes up a lot, doesn't it? Yes. Well, I really disliked Kitt, that question of submissiveness, because I grew up as a very independent person, or seeking to be independent. I wasn't necessarily independent, but I was a rebel and seeking to be independent.
You are a rebel. You're currently a rebel.
Whatever. And in my seeking to be independent, it just meant that I ended up, crushing my head against a lot of things and cultures and things that I was being informed about. And I thought that submission was part of the process that's designed to hold me down.
And subordinate you.
And subordinate me. Yes. So by and by in my reflections, I've come to the place where I realize submission is not subordinate, that's another word, or subservient, that's yet another word.
Yeah, so what is it? What is to submit? Because many people don't have a one-line answer. To submit is to.
To submit is to get to the place where in a time of disagreement, you allow him to carry the day unless the disagreement is violating human rights and biblical guidance. Yes.
Okay.
If it's something about where we are choosing to go for holiday or the shape of the house that we are building, submit, let it go.
Okay. For me, submission is being Martin's biggest cheerleader.
I like.
And as a cheerleader, you're cheering on the game. Like you're a part of the game in that if you are not there, the player would not be motivated to play.
Exactly. And there's something that I've heard you say in regard to submission.
Yeah.
That when we had the conversation about if I'm submitting and I have allowed his idea to take precedence over my idea, then if his idea, let's say it's an investment, if it goes south, then I don't tell him I told you so.
Told you?
Yeah.
Next time listen to me.
Yeah. But I heard you say in the conversation that you think also that you take it on that your thoughts.
It's at a deeper level rather than just me saying I told you so.
Yes.
It's at the level of me asking for that strength, asking God for that strength and that ability to not think I told you so.
Yes.
So that I am in a place of support. Because we have agreed we are going this way. It was his idea. We've agreed we are going that way. I've allowed that decision, his plan to go forth.
Yes.
So for me to now be in a position of I'll support it whether it fails or not.
Yes. So submission is also about grace.
Grace.
Yes.
Giving grace. Yeah.
Giving grace.
Yeah.
And I remember one time in a conversation with your dad, I said, okay, I am not agreeing with this particular direction that you want us to go. But at this moment, I'm letting it go. I'm letting my idea go. And for me, that takes a lot. To just let my idea go, it takes a lot of grace.
Yes.
But to just allow his idea to go, I said, we will go with your idea.
Yes.
And whatever direction it goes, I'm going to support you through it.
Yes.
And if it comes out good, I will stand by you. And if it doesn't come out the way that you are projecting, I will stand by you. And that particular instance, it didn't come out the way that he was projecting, but he wasn't ashamed or embarrassed or indignified.
Yes.
He wasn't crushed by it
Yes.
around me.
Yes.
He was able to come and say, this
It
is how
failed.
it's gone. And I was able to say, okay, it's okay.
Okay, it's okay.
You put your best foot forward.
Yes.
You meant the best
Yes.
for us.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
What can we now do?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Martin is always saying that submission is none of my business.
Yes.
I have no business talking or thinking about it.
Yes.
His only business is love.
So
and that's what he thinks about.
So our message here to the men is, don't talk to any woman about submission. It's not your job.
Focus.
Talk to women
Face your
about
front.
your love.
Yeah.
Face your front.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women can talk to each other about submission, but men, sorry.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about love.
Talk about love.
Yes.
Okay, did we have friction or disagreements as I was growing up?
Between me and you?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Of course
Friction.
we did.
I don't
It's
remember.
a baby, and that baby has to be upward.
Okay, teenage.
Yeah, no, even as a teenager, you know, Kitt, I can't really pinpoint because it's so difficult to remember because you've been such a lovely child to bring up.
Yeah.
It's been a privilege to bring you up, actually. Yes, it's a privilege. I thank Yahweh
you,
that you are
Mommy.
given to me. But is this a happy time for you to hear one instance?
Oh Lord.
No, you asked. Yeah, and here it is. It's all public now. Do you want to hear one instance?
Fine.
Okay. So one instance had to do with you and your cousins. You would form a kind of queen bee cartel and isolate one.
There was
And
4 of us.
There was 4 of you, and 3 of you were always in season on one side and the next season on another side. So there was always one of you being isolated. It could sometimes be you, sometimes it was Tawi, sometimes it was one of the other cousins. And I watched,
And we all lived together, by the way.
and yes, you all lived together in my house. And I watched that scenario, and it was just nasty bullying at the highest level.
And
The
by the
3
way,
of you-
bullying by
Omission.
Omission.
Yes.
What's it called? Passive aggression.
Passive aggression.
Yeah.
You would be sitting in one room and the one then walks into that room and you
we
are all
all
laughing. You all leave or you all keep quiet. You stop laughing and chatting and you all keep quiet. And the one then comes and sits and is not welcomed to join in. So I watched that nastiness. And you would also disappear from the house, the 3. The 3 would disappear from the house and leave the one. And sometimes the one was you. Yes.
Yeah.
I watched that thing and I knew that it had to stop. So I came over to you and I said...
I remember that
You remember the
conversation?
conversation? What
Yes.
did I tell you?
You said, for one, Tawi is, between these people here, Tawi is your only sister. Tawi is the only one who is your sister. So fight for that relationship regardless of what is happening here. Because at that time, I think it was Tawi who was the one. So you said, fight for Tawi. She is your sister. If you need a kidney, if you need a part of a liver, it is Tawi who will give it to you, not your cousins. I assure you, I promise.
I
Fight
told you
for her.
that.
And that was when I was like, and Tawi is my best friend.
Yes. That was a huge turnaround. I watched you turn it around immediately.
Yeah.
And it's not a conversation I had with Tawi.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with you because you're the bigger one, you're the older one, and I needed it led from the front. Yes. So I told it to you and you completely changed.
Yes.
Actually, the game ended.
The game ended.
Yeah, you never did that 3 against 1
Never,
again.
never again.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
well
So
done.
you see, we were not always in agreement,
Yeah.
but some of it had to do with then how I needed to guide you
Yeah.
away from a dangerous path
Yes.
that you could have been
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
walking down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she would just she was a normal mom. She would
Who is she?
You. you are a normal mom, you would smack us and ground us and take away our privileges. I remember one time, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember what I said. It must have been so bad. You slapped me so hard across the face. I will never forget that sensation. I did not feel the slap. I kind of heard it in the background because I was just like, weh? Yeah, but no love lost. All the discipline was done out of love.
You remember the sound?
I remember the sound. I don't even remember the feeling. Okay, so let's move on. How to strike a balance between being a career woman and a good wife and mother. Let me tell you why this question triggers me, because it's only asked of women. There's a certain balance that is required of women to be excellent in all aspects of life that is not required of men. It's heavy to carry. It is unfair. A lot of pressure.
Yes. Yeah.
I encourage women, do what you do. Do it to the best of your ability and leave the rest. Don't kill yourself because you're trying to have a perfect balance. There's no such thing. There's no perfect balance. When you're home, do home. When you're at work, do work. And that's it. I remember when I have my children, I stay with them, I think 6 months, and then I go to work. And the day I go to work, I do not call home. I don't call home the whole day to find out how my 6-month-old is doing. I pray over that child. I pray over the caregiver, and I know it's not me who keeps my child alive. Even if I was there, something would have still happened to them. So I go and I do my work, and when I come home, I don't work.
Yep.
And at some point, I was even working with Martin. He was my boss. We would be in bed and he'd ask me something about work, and I would say, wait, I don't think my husband will appreciate my boss calling me at 10 in the night to ask me about work.
And what would he say?
He would laugh and say, oh my goodness, yes, I understand, I get it. But just because we work together doesn't mean we have to bring work home.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I do. When you're at work, do work. When you're at home, do home. And the rest is God.
I love it. So for me, there are only priorities, not necessarily balance. And
priorities.
Yeah, it's priorities, and the priorities are
moment by moment.
Moment by moment. Mm-hmm. Yes, you asked about work and you asked about home, but there's a third role, which is community for women. Mm-hmm. And so we have 3 roles, and the third one also is, my mother-in-law is having an activity, mm-hmm. and I need to go there and help with the cooking, and organizing, mm-hmm. Things like those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and funerals. Women are the ones every evening at the neighborhood funeral.
Absolutely.
Many women, and then a few men walk in late, and they do money and they walk away. But the women have been holding that family together and feeding them and just making sure that it works. So there's many roles. Mm-hmm. Balance has to do with personal sanity. You look after yourself. It is therapeutic to look after yourself, and for as long as you're thriving within it, that's balance. And so for me, for very many years, I did not even live in Nairobi because I was working in the refugee camps. And I would come home a certain number of times. I wouldn't be home very often.
By the way, I can't remember. I can't remember missing you.
You can't remember missing me. Nope. So you see, it really didn't matter. I still brought up a lovely, or Yahweh helped me to bring up a lovely young woman. And but for the longest, I would be living in the refugee camp. And then coming home whenever I had negotiated to come home. Then also working as a consultant, I traveled a lot. Away from home for 2 weeks or so. And I had a structure that helped to do that, look after the home front. And also between my husband and I,
Yeah.
my husband is a powerful, intact man
Yes.
that doesn't have to be served food by his wife.
Whoosh!
He's able to eat and he's able to grow and thrive.
Mom, you're yelling.
And
Also,
he's not also they whose bed must be made by the wife. So I'm able to be away for two weeks or even a month, and the bed is still being made, and he doesn't make it. But it's still being made every day by whoever is available to make the bed. Even Kitt would make my bed. Anybody, really. It's a bed. That's all that there is to that.
That's all there is to that.
Yeah. Kitt, the other thing that I would like to say about that is that I also did that work outside of the home for so long that I started feeling unfulfilled. And one day I redefined myself and I declared myself a homemaker. And I became a homemaker.
Yes.
As my first thing. So nowadays when people ask me, what do you do? I say, I'm a homemaker.
Yes.
I'm a homestay host.
Yeah.
And I turned my home also into an
homestay.
enterprise. Yeah, I turned it into a homestay, and I do other activities beyond the homestay to make the home make money. Yes.
Visit Parkway.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a question of deciding what one is running with at that particular time. And that's what I'm running with. I still do consultancy, and that's what I'm working on today.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm a homestay host. I do consultancy, and I call it in my in-between time. Yeah. So long as you are well defined, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be happy.
Yeah.
And once again, I would like to say that women who are stay-home moms,
Yes.
stay-home mothers,
Yes.
that's a full-time job.
Yes.
So don't think I am not working.
It is not a lack of work.
No, it's not a lack of
It is
employment.
the job.
It is the job. Yeah. Men are not being asked about the balance
No.
because that's how society goes.
Yes.
We are run by society.
Yes.
Define yourself. Don't allow society to define it for you. You'll feel like you're running mad.
Yeah. Why do you look exactly like Kendi?
Because she's my grandchild. I am so blessed. My children didn't come out looking like me. I was like, what are these? Who are these?
Who are these?
Yes. So Yahweh rewarded me with Kendi.
Should we hide money as wives?
Yes. It depends on what you're hiding money for. The Proverbs 31 woman, it says that she will do him good all the days of his life.
Yeah.
My hiding of money used to be, I no longer hide money, but my hiding of money used to be that in our younger days, I noticed that he would run out of money, be desperate, and not have anybody to borrow money from because he is not a good borrower. He doesn't like to borrow. He doesn't like to borrow. He feels
he feels some type of way.
He feels not very dignified. And so I would hide money so that in thick times I had money to bring out and support him with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening. By the way, the way you guys are hiding money, that ain't it, sis.
Now, when you're hiding money in a way that doesn't leave you powerful, it takes away power from you. Then again, it's not leaving you strong. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Somebody's asking me how it is working with my mom. It's delightful. It's delightful.
Yes.
My mom is my friend, so it's like working with my friend.
Yes. And we honor each other.
And we honor each other,
Yes.
respect each other, teach. Yeah.
Yes.
We teach and learn from each other.
Yes. Yeah.
How old are you?
Just about turning 60. Next May in 2021, I will be 60.
Yeah.
Which means that right now I'm 59. Should I count it like children do, 59 and a half? Yeah, no, but I don't even understand the question. Maybe we have the answer.
You're firstborn, men help out a lot. They're doing a lot with the firstborn. The secondborn, they leave you to do it by yourself.
Or maybe they found it was novelty at the beginning.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was novelty, and then by the time the second born has come, they realize you know what to do, and they are also bored. They are like,
Yeah.
na hii kazi ni kazi.
Absolutely.
Maybe,
I've also
maybe.
found a lot of women don't know how to enroll support.
Yes,
Yeah.
at the individual level, but society also doesn't know how to create that men ought to support. And it starts from babyhood. You buy your baby boy a toy car and the baby girl a doll. Which one is being trained to look after babies? Only one.
How do you deal with a husband who doesn't like involving you in his family activities?
At the extended level.
First of all, let me just ask. You're waiting for permission to go to your own family's activities? Because that's your family, right? Your extended Martin's family is my family.
Yeah, but do you know that? So what happens is that for a lot of women, she did not take it on as her family. Yes,
Yeah.
and it takes away a lot of power.
A lot.
Even for the man, when he's thinking that's your family,
Yes,
and
and
he's
this is
thinking
my
this
family.
is my family,
Yes.
it takes away a lot of power from this unit.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So the answer to that is it's not his family.
Yeah.
You own that family by cows.
Yeah.
So just rise up
and go.
Do you.
Go,
Take
do
over,
it.
girl.
Yeah.
You are standing on the bus.
Yeah.
And you're expecting him to involve you.
Please,
no,
don't
take
wait
over.
to be involved.
Women get more involved than men on any given day.
Don't wait to be
Yes,
involved.
you'll discover things in the kitchen of his mother that he doesn't even know exist.
Yeah.
Take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When going for introductions at my fiancé or boyfriend's home, what is expected of one? Be yourself.
I think so. Be yourself, unless yourself is ugly even to yourself. So
And then in that
remake
case,
yourself.
remake yourself.
You remake yourself before you go there, and so that you are the real new self.
Be real.
Be real.
Don't pretend. Don't do. If you don't you regularly wash dishes, don't arrive at your future mother-in-laws and wash dishes, please.
Yeah.
I beg of you. I'm
Yeah.
trying to teach you something here.
You'll have created a role.
You are creating something that nobody expected of you. You think they expect that of you. You have created this whole situation in your mind. They are waiting to meet you, not our wife. They're waiting to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless mom-in-law says, could you please come to the kitchen and help me get this out of the oven?
Then there you go. Then you go and do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am 30 years old and I'm still afraid to have sex. I'm almost getting married.
Don't have sex. Get married, then have sex.
Then figure it out with your husband.
Yeah, figure it out with your husband. Don't have sex. Don't have sex.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
No,
You're
there's no
30
problem
years
with
old and you've waited.
Yeah.
There's no problem
There's
with
no
waiting.
problem with waiting.
Just keep it, girl. Hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody has asked, is feminism supposed to be equal to men? Women are equal to men, or to freedom?
Okay. Feminism is about access to equal opportunities and privileges. So
Period.
yeah, so
Yeah.
if you feel that I don't need to have equal access to education, to opportunities as men, then you're not a feminist. I don't have a right to those opportunities. But if you feel that you have a right to equal opportunities, be it education, be it health, be it work related, you're a feminist. So you don't have to have been called a feminist.
No.
Yeah, you're thinking it in your head, and you are probably rising up and applying for that job because you feel that even me, I need to have been given the opportunity to rise up to the leadership of this organization.
Yes.
Yes.
A few people have asked if we have always had a great relationship. I think so.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
Always had a great relationship.
Yeah.
But you know, when it's a baby, is it a great relationship? It's just somebody on your breastfeeding.
It's a leech.
On you, it's a leech. It's a leech. You're loving the leech though, but it's your leech.
Yeah. What's our take on adoption? Oh, please give children a home. Please.
Yes.
Adoption.
Yes.
Please adopt
Even
children.
when you already have babies. I remember one time.
Yeah, even when you
I
already...
wanted. Yeah, I had 3 children already, and my friends who already had 3 children were adopting babies, and I thought, Namimi, why am I being left out? Nikose ni chekwe. But circumstances were such that we didn't adopt a baby. Yes, so please adopt a baby, give a baby a home, and give a baby a home inside your heart.
Yeah.
Yes, because
we're not going to
it
talk
doesn't
more about
matter.
that.
Yeah, no, but yeah, because the children don't have to come to us biologically.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're taught to honor our parents. How can we do that when our parents are toxic, manipulative?
You honor them anyway. It doesn't mean that you need to be anywhere near them. Yeah, you don't have to be anywhere near them.
Guys, do you know that you can, and I love that you say this all the time, do you know you can leave a marriage and still love the person? You can love the person from far. Just because somebody has told you you must, honor your parent doesn't mean that you have to visit them.
No,
Please.
you don't have to visit them.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in their space.
Yeah.
But you honor them in the ways that parents need to be honored. If they need something, it's provided for them. You look after them, and you care for them. And if they hurl insults to you, you cut off
turn your back and walk in the other direction.
And you also cut off the channels of
insults.
Yeah,
guys, you can block your mother. block. Block report user.
No, but I was having a conversation with a young woman recently whose father has never been there for them and has not provided for them. If anything, has stolen the money that their mother worked hard to earn and then hid in the sugar jar or something. He would find it and steal it and still go drinking. And he was doing nothing for them. And I was out shopping with her and I said, are you buying anything for your father? Because she was buying a few things for her mother. And she stopped, and it was a heavy time for her in her life. But I said, honor him. I need you to live a long life.
It is,
and
by the way,
Bible
the promise is for me. When I honor my parents, I will live a long life.
Yes. So I said, buy something for him. And she ended up buying a few items for him and took them home to him. And he wore the jacket the day it arrived. Yes, he was so pleased and looked so dignified in it. So, and she said, I am so glad I did that. I must buy him some more things.
Look at that.
Yes.
How do we have a bond like this? We foster it like friends, just like any relationship.
Yes. We hang out together. Like now we are at Olaro the Smith, hanging out together.
What's the inspiration behind dreadlocks?
Oh, that one I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
About 27 years ago, I was fed up with all the processed hair in my environment.
You never had processed hair?
I did. Would you believe it?
I can never believe it.
Yes, I had processed hair. It was called Kitt. It was a horrible, wet, slimy thing. Shiny. It was a wet look. Horrible thing, and it was in fashion. And I just couldn't. I was fed up of going to the hairdressers. I don't like people touching my head. And one day, I was walking in the supermarket at Sarit Center, and I saw a woman walking, and she had locks. And that's the first woman that I had ever seen with locks. And they were calling her the children she was with were calling her something like Tata Jerry. And I looked at that woman, and I think I stalked her around the supermarket. And I kept that in my head. When it was time for me to be completely fed up with my hair, I took a pair of scissors, cut off the wet look, allowed my hair to grow, and I shukad matutas and started washing it. And that's how I got my locks. I said, this is how I'm gonna look.
Like Tata Jerry.
Like Tata Jerry. And I was alone with my hair looking like that at that time. It wasn't in fashion.
Yeah.
But I gave myself the permission to be the one person that had different hair. Yeah.
Have we ever fought, like argued at length?
Me and you?
No. We've fought, we've argued, but not at length. At any, we finish things the same day with the start.
You see, first of all, I'm older than you. Secondly, I am so equipped in conflict management. I teach people conflict management. There's no way I'm ever having a conversation and a fight with anybody
for more than a day, honestly.
Never. Well, it can be for more than a day because some people are hardcore and it's difficult to solve things with them. Yeah. But it also just attests, when I'm not able to do it, to my lack of being equipped to resolve it. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about me?
That's such a hard question for a mother. I mean, really, my favorite thing about you?
Yeah.
My grandchildren. There, I said it.
What's my favorite thing about you? Your unapologeticness. Do it, say sorry later or not.
No, but I do it the right way, don't I? Am I roughshod people?
No, you are not.
So
you're unapologetic. I mean, we don't have to excuse it.
I don't have anything to be apologetic
we don't have to excuse
about
it.
Yes.
I mean, we don't. Yeah, you don't have to ask permission.
It is what it is.
To be unapologetic.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are who you are. I mean, a young marriage, no kids. What can I do in marriage where sex is only once a year? My friend.
Okay. That's hard.
Sister.
Yeah.
Is there a medical issue? Is there infidelity? What's happening there?
Or is there a situation where they've messed up with so much pornography that they're not able to actually have sex? It's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. I would recommend you find somebody to talk to.
Yeah, therapy. Yeah.
When was the first time I sneaked out of the house? I have never sneaked out of the house. My parents would give us permission to go and give us the car and money, and we needed to be home at a certain point. So because they were open in that way, we never had to sneak out.
Yeah. And also, you started dating very early and we encouraged it. I mean, really.
And to bring boyfriends home.
Yes, at age 14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah. I think I had my first boyfriend when I was 14. Yeah, and he was older, like 17.
Yes.
Yeah. And you told me, okay, bring him, let us meet him, and we would always hang out at home.
Yeah.
So in that respect, there was no reason to sneak out.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, we were teaching you about dignity and sex and virginity. Yeah. So you didn't need to sneak out.
I didn't.
No. Yeah. And when you didn't have the car because you were too young to drive, we always dropped you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did. You dropped us for proms and dances and
Jesus night.
And
we stayed the whole Jesus night with you and hated it.
Yeah.
But we stayed the whole night and it was a lot of Christian duash. Too much. But fun. We stayed there.
It was hella fun. I mean, they were there in the background. We didn't care. We were just there dancing. Can you give a repentant fiancé a second chance after cheating with his colleague? Okay, for me, cheating for me is a deal breaker. And I think for many women, we are taught, no, men cheat. So for me, cheating is a deal breaker, not because of the loss of trust, but because of the loss of respect. How can I be with somebody I do not respect? How classless and cliche it is for you to cheat. Okay, bye. I can go and be with somebody who's a bit more original. So for me, I would not give people a second chance. Just move on.
All right. For me, yeah, give him a chance. With such a clear guideline on how this will go
henceforth.
And you take leadership of how it will go. So you design how it will go, and you respect yourself to the extent of keeping your promise.
Respect yourself.
Yes.
To the extent of keeping your promise.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have seen scenarios where one person cheated, they resolved it, they laid down guidelines, perfect union. Yes. Yeah.
Am I still vegetarian?
But that's not only for a fiancé or a fiancé.
Anybody.
Even in marriage.
Anybody.
Even in marriage. Yeah. You can say, okay, fine, we slipped.
Sawa.
I'm kicking the camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, am I still vegetarian? Yeah, I eat mostly vegetarian. Sometimes I'll eat fish, so you can say I'm pescatarian. Boundaries. How do you create and enforce boundaries? You know the way, yeah, but you know the way okay, so I enforce boundaries by, I was just telling my aunt today that when somebody tells you something that you don't like, you know, aunties are very commonly say, and you're fat.
Yeah, like that one.
So what I say to that is, auntie, don't tell me that. That's mean.
Yes.
So I'm not defending the fact that I'm not fat, number one. That is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Or the fact, I'm not defending anything. I am just saying, don't tell me that. That's mean.
Yes.
Okay? What happens is, regardless of what they say, I keep quiet. I don't engage any further. I'm just standing there listening. They will think twice about telling me that again.
Ever, even if they argue for the longest time,
it doesn't matter.
They will not turn up and tell you.
They will not tell me that ever again.
Yes.
Yes. So that is how I set my boundaries, by saying, don't do that.
Yes.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're going to walk away and you're racketing and you're upset for the longest time, and you stop loving this person who you really love.
Yes.
Because you didn't set the boundaries.
Yeah, because you didn't set your boundaries.
Yes. And you love this person.
You love the person, you know the person loves you. They just said one thing that didn't work.
Yes.
One time I told my cousin, you know, when you told me this, I felt so sad because ABCD. And they said, oh my goodness, I didn't mean that. I wasn't. And I said, yeah, I recognize that you weren't thinking about it. And that's how it made me feel. And we moved on from there. And it doesn't matter if they say, you are so sensitive. They will never say it again. And
what's most important.
That's the most important
part. That they will never
say
it again.
And then you move on like it never happened.
Yes.
Yes.
And sometimes I step in to help to set boundaries around my loved ones.
Me too.
Because a report that then came to me one time is that there was a sniper at a wedding going around and telling the younger girls, you're so fat, you're so fat, you're so fat.
Yeah.
So one of the younger girls got hit 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times
by the
one
same
wedding.
Person.
Yes. Yeah. No, actually she was hit by that person
and
4 other people.
Oh wow.
And I spoke to them on a family platform.
Yes.
To tell everybody on the platform, don't go around telling people that they are fat when they've really dressed up and come to a wedding.
Yeah.
You are trying to pull them down, and some people are actually trying to pull you down. Yes, because some people only feel pretty when their people around them feel ugly. Yes. Yeah. So speak out, and you don't have to be rude or anything, but just politely and strongly say, this doesn't work for me.
Yes.
And for me, that one, it wasn't me who had been hit, but my environment had been violated. So I took charge of my environment. Because if you're going around telling the young girls that they're fat, you're violating my environment.
Yeah.
So I have the duty, and I'm on duty to come and tell you,
Cut it out.
Don't. Cut it out. Look after your own backside.
That's all the time we have for the questions today. I really hope we got to your question. If we didn't get to your question, it's probably in another video. Look at all the videos that we have done before. We have, I think, 8 mom and me segments.
Really?
Yeah. So go ahead and find those videos, and I really hope you enjoyed this one and learned something. Right?
Yes.
And see you next time. Bye.